Alright guys, welcome to video number 5. Video 5 here we are going to talk about the new trend. Okay? We talked about in our last video the difficult times that a lot of law firms are going through. They keep using traditional things with just AdWords or PPC or Facebook or SEO. We talked about how the prices keep going up. But what I want to talk about in this video is that when difficult economic times occur, those are when you see transformation in businesses. And we're going through a new transformation now, which is big data and artificial intelligence. So the businesses of some of the wealthiest people today in this country and North America, most of them got to the position of being some of the wealthiest people in the world because of the Depression. It was a time in which they grew most. One of the most obvious examples we know is the Kennedys. Joe Kennedy in 1929 had $4 million. By 1932, he had $180 million. And that's in the middle of the Depression. So the opportunity for you to take market share from the five forces is now ours for the taking. There's never been a greater opportunity in your lifetime. And that's not based on some positive thinking. That's based on the fact that the rules have now turned. They've shifted. They've changed. And the ability to compete with small law firms or big law firms, the new tools are there for all of us. And if we don't learn, if we don't take our paid advertising to the next level, we're going to fail. Like the 77-year-old San Francisco law firm, Brobeck, Harrison, which ran into money trouble. In the New York Times, they reported that they had something like 900 lawyers. And a few years later, it collapsed. And the former chairman, Tower Snow, said, most people can't support large number of people hanging around waiting for work to appear. Or the Coder brothers, the LLP. It's a 153-year-old law firm that completely collapsed in the 21st century due to bankruptcy. Heck, in the past decade, 12 major firms with more than 1,000 partners between them have collapsed entirely. Surviving lawyers live in fear of suffering a similar fate, driving them to ever more humiliating lengths to edge out rivals for business. And the number one thing you hear consistently is, I didn't have enough clients. Now, let me share with you the new marketing trend. The best way that I could describe this to you is how Target, the company Target, predicted a teenage girl's pregnancy. So, what does this have to do with digital marketing? Just hear me out for a minute, and I promise that it will all make sense. So Target tracks what their customers buy through loyalty cards. With this, they get a history of all their purchases for anyone who uses it. What they're able to do was look at someone's later purchases and see if previous ones could have predicted future ones. So they started looking at people who bought baby clothes, cribs, car seats, etc. They assumed that by those purchases that they had a new baby. They then looked back over their database of customers to see where the common purchases were before that. They found that certain subtle ones, not obvious ones like pregnancy tests, they noticed that it happened before purchase. In this case, many months before. So they used this data to send out coupons that were tailored to what a customer was likely going to need next. The idea was to make more likely to buy it from them. The problem in this instance was that it got sent to a house with a teen living with her parents. So her father stormed in the local store angry, demanding answers. Are you trying to get my daughter pregnant? He asked. The manager apologized. And days later, he returned saying that he was unaware that apparently his daughter was pregnant. Right? You still with me? Cool. So what does this have to do with marketing for digital agencies, right? And what does this have to do with your law firm? It tells you that past behavior can predict future behavior. So what if you could do the same thing Target did for their coupons for for your clients, for your cases? What if you could predict cases? What if you could predict people who are going to hire a lawyer? With our software, you can. With big data and artificial intelligence, you can. Our version of a loyalty card is tracking users' browsing behavior. So the foundation of what we do is people-based marketing. So through a couple of years and a lot of money invested, we build a giant listing engine. We know the names of people we are reaching out to, that we are marketing to. We have a database of about 220 million people that we know by name. We know who they are, we know their addresses, we know their phone numbers, and what we do is that we track all of the behavior that they do online, all the websites that they go, the keywords that they search, anything they use to search or browse the internet. So we are collecting that behavior and we are connecting that back to our database. So what we have is a giant listing engine that works in real time. We know what, as an example, John Smith is currently looking at. So we know all the web pages he's looking at, all of these searches as it relates to a topic. So that's the first level of what we have. From that, we're able to deduce that certain people in our data, based on a specific topic, like hiring a lawyer, we're able to recognize that. So people searching for things before they take action. People don't just hire a lawyer. There's a research phase. They have to educate themselves. So people say, how much does a lawyer cost? What are the payment arrangements? How long have you practiced law? What type of cases do you generally handle? So what we do is that we pick up on that behavior and we can tell when someone starts the first steps of hiring a lawyer. And so along the way, they may navigate sites like findlaw.com or legalmatch.com, or maybe they navigate specific websites and different law firms in your area. So we pick up on all of that behavior and we're able to tell who is in market. So other marketing providers, they're trying to grab people who are already looking at specific law firms. We pick up the entire life cycle, everything from when they start till the very end. And because we picked up on all those behaviors, we're able to market to these people on any device, on any platform, because we're not looking for them. We know who they are. We're not limited to someone just sending us a lead. We know this person is actively looking for what you do now, and they're searching and educating themselves about what you do. So what we have when we work with our clients is that we have two different lists of people. So the first one is in-market leads. So these are people that, because of their behavior, because of the sites that they have been searching, we know they're actively pursuing hiring a lawyer. These are the first group of people we can market to and start generating awareness with them. We can start educating them on why they should choose you. The second group of people we work with, we call in-funnel. The second group of people we call in-funnel because these are people that are actively looking for a lawyer, but they're considering your help specifically. The reason we know that is because they've been to your website. They know who you are, but maybe they haven't reached out. Maybe they haven't filled out the contract or booked a consultation. So that's the second group of people that we work with. So all of this allows us to do is have perfect timing. We find and talk to the right person at the right time with big data, with this technology. And because we own and control the data, we can go and load that wherever we want. We can run ads on Facebook. We can run ads on Google. And we can pay lower prices than all of your competition. Because if someone says, hey, if another marketing provider says, do you want to run a Google AdWords campaign and show up on people's search? You would end up paying a heck of a lot more than we would pay to reach the same people. So our benefit is that we see a 25 to 75% cost drop. But additionally, we're building awareness with the right people. So that's how a lawyer in the personal injury niche, with some of the fiercest competitors in the area, was able to retain 7 cases in just 9 days of using the big data, using the strategy that we suggest. And again, his ad spend was only $1,500. Another lawyer in Texas has been using big data to have a nearly 50% close rate on PI leads in just a few days. He's getting over $8,000 on every single case, and he's using data to be able to know who is in market and spend all of his advertising money just on those leads. So they say branding does not work, and it generally does not work unless you're branding to the right person. For us, we can be everywhere for those people that are in market, people who are qualified and are actively looking to hire a lawyer. So for us, as complex as this technology is, we track people who display interest in hiring a lawyer. And part of the ways that we improve on the technology is that we can start looking back on what people did before they hired you. We can go back in time and ask what exactly did they do up to the point where they hired you and became a client. So for us, we have the ability to reverse engineer a path that they took to make the purchase. So through time, we will get better and better at identifying these paths and be in front of them before anyone else, more often than anyone else, and more affordably than anyone else. So the advantage of that is that it simply makes you the default choice. So if you are the first person that they hear about, and they hear about you more often than anybody else, and your value proposition is reasonable as a customer or buyer, that's the person that becomes the default choice. So I want to share with you here a couple of case studies before getting into the niche of law firms. We were able to give results to Walmart. Our team was able to give this result to Walmart, and they decreased their ad costs in the eye care division by 40%. Before that, we also were helping car dealerships. To this day, our team has sold over 400,000 cars using this technology, and the ad spend per car is just $150. Incredible results. We also dropped a cancer clinic lead cost by 83%, and now we're exclusively working with lawyers, and we're getting, for example, in the personal injury niche, we're getting a cost per lead of about $35 to $85, an average case conversion rate of about 5% to 10%, and an average cost per case of about $400 to $800. Okay, so that is the power of big data. That is the new trend that is taking over paid advertising. Being able to know who is in market before you spend a single dollar in advertisement. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and I want to give you a quick recap of the things that we covered. Firstly, we covered the foundation of creating world-class ads. We talk about the 2 most important things you need to have a proper foundation. Next, we talked about the 5 forces that are stopping you from growing your law firm, things that are consistently taking market share from you, We share with you the data and the technology that we're using to overcome this. Next, we talked about why most law firms fail. We talked about all the trends through time, from the very first law firm ad to modern times, and what holds in the future with big data and artificial intelligence. And lastly, we went into details about how the technology that we're using is helping us get a list of all of the people that are actively searching for you in real time without being at the mercy of Google or Facebook. So here comes the end of this training, and I want to thank you for tuning in with us and learning more about big data, and for letting us share the quickest path to profit that we found. So if you're interested in knowing how you could apply big data to your law firm, feel free to reach out to us to see if and how this technology could be used in your law firm. All you have to do is fill in an application by clicking this button below, right underneath this video. So we are looking for a few strategic partners because we want to offer exclusivity. So we work with only one client per area. We want to be able to offer this incredible data for just a few law firms, and once the spots are filled, we simply will not offer our data to anyone else in the future. We won't compete with ourselves. Our vision is to work with one client in each area. So right now, if you're watching this video, you're getting the right of first refusal. We know who is in the market. We know on a weekly basis we get updated with a list of people that are actively searching for your particular services. Right? We're able to feed that list to you. Okay? And because we can target them anywhere, we will be able to get leads cheaper and convert them better than any of your competitors, because we're looking to give exclusivity to the law firms that we work with. Though some of the areas might have already been taken, so definitely reach out to us to see availability in your area. We know that the technology will drastically shift the strategy of many law firms in the U.S. If you do not act now and learn how you could leverage this for your law firm, your competitor definitely might. But other than that, I want to thank you again for joining us. I hope these trainings have been useful for you, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. So once again, if you want to see if and how this data can be used in your law firm, click the button below, select a date and time to speak with us, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.